fuck's sake.
Alright, we'll go back to the final league race of this season of FTRL GT7 for the Manufacturer Series. It's been a long road, but here we are, week 10, the last one. And we're at the Red Bull Ring for Group 4 and St. Croix B for the Group 3s. Now, Austria was a really terrible experience for this. Just these I'm sure Group 3 cars might feel good around here. Apologies, just fixed my mic. I'm sure Group 3 cars would feel good around here, but Group 4, just far too understraight for my liking. I really disliked it. It was not an enjoyable experience, and I think this car, this particular Aston, which I've loved for 90% of the season, this Group 4 Aston, this was not a great track for it, I think. I could be wrong, but I tried to tow Lee along. I didn't have much luck. He didn't have much more luck than I did, so I don't know if I really held him up or... Anyway, a disaster anyway. 30, what did I do? 36.3. My best was like a 35.7, which if a 35.7 was good enough for what? I don't know, 8th, 9th maybe. Yeah, a 34.8 is what Witchell did. A second, so a 35.8 puts 9th or so. So, yeah, not great either way. Look. Yeah, this wasn't... Look, it was all about St. Croix, really. This particular race I knew was not going to be... It was not going to be my strong suit, not going to be the car strong suit. It was, yeah, just... Right, make the best of it is what we can do, really. But it was, yeah... Sorry, I'm not very enthusiastic. It's just this race really was just absolutely nothing, to be honest. Like, this... No pace, just... I didn't enjoy driving it. It's one thing to enjoy it and not have the pace. It's another thing for both of those things to be the reality, but anyway, we'll make the best of what we can. I'm more so trying to help Lee, so in his battle with Chubbs, but Chubbs was very competitive around St. Croix, so with that Genesis, so we're going to have to make the most of this one if we can. But anyways, heading up the hill, this track, it's nice to drive in Group 3, but anyway, heading up the hill, from F1, of course, you know the various zones and the such from this. Nice and easy, nice squeaky brake, as always, to finish the season. Just behind Sean, SBY there in front. Dip into the slipstream. My thought was, look, we can only go forward, right? It's P13, we can only go forward. We're going to find out. Anyway, line opens down the inside. A bit of lag there. I couldn't really help not make contact there. And then Lee has it off then into the wall. Thankfully it doesn't spin around, but opens a door for us to have a little go on Panda as well, who's back for this race. And so we're going to slip down the inside. So we made up 3 positions on this first lap. Again, sadly one of them was my teammate, but not the worst first lap in the world, I guess. But again, more disappointed that my teammate was one of them, but he'll be back, I'm sure. Anyways, moving on to lap number 4. This is Ismail in front, I think is what his name is. Sadly, ended up unghosting at the wrong time. I couldn't really see... If he was ghosted, I could have seized this corner, but I couldn't because he unghosted. So, yeah, that was a difficult one. I will say his driving was a bit suspect. I'm not gonna lie. It was in this Group 4 race in particular. Wasn't the best, shall we say? So it was not an enjoyable experience to be behind, but anyway, we'll try to make the best of it we can. I didn't know too much about it on lap 5 here. Biggles has got himself a little time penalty as well. I thought I'd got a penalty myself last lap, so I said, oh shit, don't do it to me. Anyway, going to dip him into the he's going to dip to the racing line. I didn't mean to make contact, and then I'm still not left space.
Give me some space.
Then there's Sean on my right hand side as well, so it's a bit of a mess if I'm honest. Yeah, I mean, what do you want me to say? Just not the one. Trying to hang around the outside, all for the pride of P10, essentially P9. I know P8's up there, but anyway, we'll stick with it and try. I think what I really struggled with was this corner for one, but this left-hander, I can never really get right in F1 either. This track was not one of my stronger ones in F1 either. Just I don't know. There's a knack for this track, and I just don't have it. Some people do, like, but I don't. I just don't. I've had good races here in the past. I don't think I've ever won a race here. But anyway, lap 9. So we're still in this battle. You know, trying to find a way through. Ismail sends on the inside there. I tried to leave as much space as I could, and I did. So what I could, anyways. I did the best what I could there in the circumstances, but a lot of this kind of thing going on. Just, yeah, some moves like that, a few direction changes like that. It's just like, oh, okay, this is how it's going to be. I see. That's fine, I guess. Anyways, got a decent run. Sean has a better run. The straight line, Aston speed is not the best here. Just again, this track is not the one for this car, and I wasn't good at it either. So, what was it to say? A good workman never blames his tools. I'll blame myself for a degree, but errors like that do not help. But yeah, I think the fact that both the Astons back here is indicative that this was not to be our day. So Sean goes through. He's going to have another go. I got Panda here on my outside. Usually if you defend the inside here, it's difficult to really fight back with, but these two are going to come together somewhat. It's going to allow me a chance to pull alongside, side by side. But the car on the inside here usually does have the advantage, like out on the marbles as well. So trying to tough around the outside, nothing really doing. So we're still stuck in P10. So I'm just trying for a lifeline, anything. Lap 11, last lap of the race. I try and get on the power as quick as I can, but I haven't rotated the car enough. Get on the gravel, lose the back end. There goes Panda. So there's that sheet. That's how a ship sailed. I try and send it on the inside of Panda, but not enough alongside. He gets his car back in. I try and leave my car in there just for a last gasp attempt for anything, really. Anything, but nothing doing. And at this stage, it's like, right, we're in a pretty bad space, so I'm going to, just put my car in, see if anything happens. Nothing doing. I was like, right, well, I need to give the position to Lee now for his battle. So nothing at the last corner, just a quick check. No, nothing doing. It's time to get out. So I let Lee go. And for an extra point that may matter in the Group 3 race, who knows, but a P12, one of the worst races of the season. Nothing to blame really, other than myself and just not getting on with the track with the car. So that was it. P12. We're the one crumb of comfort. We'll have a good starting position for the Group 3 race, which I am a lot more optimistic for, that we could maybe do something. Though I knew going in, the Ferraris were excellent. So was Chubbs in the Genesis. They're going to be very difficult to keep behind. The Lambos, I don't know. Thought I had a chance maybe with them. We're in P4, so we're in a good spot. But I know I'm letting Lee go as soon as possible. I like this track. We'll go through a lap with it later on my fastest lap. I thought I did well with this track, the best I could given the car. The mid-engine cars had a much better time of it. The Ferrari, the Lambo, to an extent. The Genesis is the car to have here, though. The Aston is limited. I thought we did well. I really thought we did well with everything we could with this car. It just didn't. The other cars were better suited for it. Like what Chubbs could do with this car, or with his car. He was quick around this place. He could get into the 8s on mediums. I could only get into the 8s on softs, and barely at that as well. That's the kind of difference we're talking here. So, but like I still thought we did. Like, I'm not. That's just the reality of it. Like it's. I thought I like this track and I drove well. I'm pretty happy with how things went. Let Lee go and try and get Dusty Fossil as quick as I can. I just noticed actually Lee indicated. I just gave him the go. I assume he meant to on his hazards or something. Accidentally kind of caught Dusty Fossil there. Sorry about that, man. I got Sean off my inside as well, so I have to leave space for that. I don't get the best exit, so he's going to nip through. On one of the more difficult corners of the track here, this right-hander, this blind right-hander. You have to really be careful with it. I get a better run, and as a result, get the place back. But the Aston's lack of straight line speed really showed here. I think that was that was one of the things. I don't know if it was the main thing that led to the loss of lap time compared to everyone else. Our straight line speed was really bad, and you'll see that later on compared to other cars. With a good chunk of lap time is certainly lost in these straights. There's no doubt about it. Sardinia, I think, was similar. This had a lot of Sardinia vibes to it. Sean was so far back heading onto this back straight, and he was able to get all the way up and go for a move down the inside. We defended it with the racing line on the outside, but yeah, I'm trying my best to repel any attack coming forward to protect Lee. That's what this race was for me, to do the best that I could, obviously, but obviously help Lee out as best as I can. So it's a bit of a cluster at the moment. We need to get by Biggles as quickly as we can. He doesn't get the best exit heading out of the last turn. A difficult turn in itself as well. I really did enjoy this track. I would love to come back with a car more suited to it, like the McLaren. But yeah, maybe not this Aston, but anyway, for another time perhaps. Anyways, to get the move done, but not the cleanest exit, so that's going to give Biggles a chance to come back at me, and Sean. So, yeah, bit of a sandwich going on. Two cars very close by. I'm just going to keep to the inside. And I do have good tyre wear, so we're going to do a medium to soft this race. Sean will lose the back end there. We're going to hold this inside line.
Fuck me.
Car on the inside is going to need to back out, but I'm doing the best I can. This corner got tough with tyre wear. I struggled with this corner a little bit in practice. I did get better with it, but... And this corner then, unwinding the car. Right, lap 6 of 20. Joker's got a penalty, but this is not going to affect us. Our threat is Chubbs, and I had to defend as best as I could, but there's no defense for the straight line speed of this thing. He's already through, and yeah, I couldn't really do a lot more about it. His pace was inevitable. Like, you know, I knew he was so quick heading in. I knew it was going to be very difficult to keep him at bay, and the only hope was that he'd spin under pressure, or the others would hold him up in order to do so, that our track position would last. Not to be. There goes Joker's penalty, so he's just come out in front of that. I don't get the best run through this last turn either, and yeah, not great, and that's going to open the door for Tom. Need to be getting by. At this stage of the race is kind of what it is. I did the best what I could for Lee out front, and now Chubbs is passed and Tom is coming as well, so like I've now got to kind of reprioritize on my own race now. So, but I'm doing the best that I can regardless. And you got Witchell coming behind as well, so I'm conscious he's there. He taps Tom, so allows us to have a chance to get by Tom again. Nip into the slipstream of Witchell. I was like, send it down the inside, maybe he'll back out, but no, he hangs it in there. I have to get out of it myself as well. Heading in then, Joker has a moment on the grass. You may recognise this. I can't avoid that. Nothing I could do about it. That allows Tom through, and that's going to allow Aaron through. I just indicated Aaron just to go left. I didn't have the overspeed to make that. So that was really unfortunate. That was really annoying to lose two positions that way. These weren't certainties. Tom, maybe. But I definitely could have held the place to Aaron. Tom, I think I maybe could have kept at bay with tyre wear racking up now. So that was tough. So yeah, lose two positions there. Lap number 8. See, Tom's a little bit up the road. I wanted Aaron to kick on, because I thought Aaron would be quicker. But I guess at this stage of the stint, his tyre wear is not great. So I wanted him to kick on and take me with him.
Work with me, Aaron.
So that's why I said work with me, because I wanted him to take me with him. But heading through this complex, he's going to get a bit squirrely on the curb with that Ferrari being unstable.
Oh dear.
And that allows me to get through then back into P5. So now we've kind of filtered through. Some guys have filtered up, and we've filtered up through some of the other guys as well. So looking at a strong position. Lap 10, see Ross is on my ass almost. It's about a second or so. He was a little bit closer earlier this lap as well. So lap 10 or 11 was the go time for the softs. I decided to go for lap 10 rather than lap 11. Didn't want to be undercut, so that's what we did. Some people are doing medium. I'm doing medium soft. What took place behind me, which was something I didn't expect, was that Ismail on the... He pitted, I think, a lap or two beforehand on softs. I think he's in the Lexus. I don't know what that car's tyre wear is, man, but absolutely ludicrous stuff. So he undercut everyone. I thought he had to go for a two-stop, but no, he's good to the end of the race, which I didn't realise at the time. I'd only realised until basically at the end of the race, like, oh, he's not stopping again, is he? I was convinced he had to, or he'd run out of fuel, but no, tyre wear was really good in that Lexus, and the softs were able to make last. Lap 13, heading on to lap 14. This is my fast lap of the race. Let's take you through it. Braking at the 100 board. Try and get the car turned in as best as you can to get on the power as soon as you can exit. This isn't the best car to be doing a hot lap with, but again, I would like to use a McLaren or something mid-engined to do it. But anyways, brake at the 100 board again. Let the car drift in. Get on the power quickly on these softs. You can do so. Use the curb and exit. Heading down into this complex on the right. Not one of my favorite. I do like it, but once you get the rhythm of it. Turn in. Eventually lift off a little bit on softs. Stop around the curb on the throttle. Turn in. Maybe a little bit more throttle if you need to. Get the car rotated in. Brake at where the tarmac changes colour. And turn in. For this bridge, you see we're catching up to Tom here in the process. This bridge I broke at the arrow here. Just after. I don't go as wide on the right hand side. Pull it in. I don't use the track width on the right hand side. I just don't think it's worth it. Here, I actually cheat and use the just go past that little yellow marker board. That marker there, and then once I feel the car rotate, I see the barrier on the end. Full beans. Then after that, but once I feel the car's rotated in, you just feel it. You know when to go full beans onto it. Through here then, our lack of top speed does show here, sadly. You need to be in the slipstream, really. Brake at the 150. Right there. With these softs, you can turn nice and easily and get back on the power pretty quickly. Use the car and exit. You see Tom uses a bit more than that. A little lift if you need to here. And these new tyres, not so much, but there's a tyre wear that goes on, and maybe even to save some tyre wear for the future of the stint. A little bit of a lift. Midway through that corner, lift off again. Again, you just kind of feel it. Get back on the throttle using all the track there. You see, I whistled because I was like, man, that was on the limit. 100 board. Turn in. Make sure you're straightened out. That you know when you're on the throttle, then you could just use all the track and not go off the exit, the grass. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a 208.9. Not stellar, but I think good for this car, given the circumstances. Anyway, lap 16. Tom is struggling here. And he gets all squirrely out of this section. This was not a good section for him. He really struggled with this with the Lambo. I imagine the Ferraris had the same issue. You can see we've pulled away from Ross as we knew we would on soft. So very similar to Autopolis. Very similar in that way. Ross probably quicker at the end of the stint. But we stay ahead and then we just use better tyres to pull away. Didn't expect Tom to come into my range here. And turning in again. Get the car turned in. You can't just feel when to go for it. Oh, very nice. Not the cleanest exit for Tom. I was like, right, we're going to go for it here. We are absolutely going to go for it. Oh, I wish I had a bit more top speed because I would have been able to have him much easier. He goes defensive. I could have been... he goes back across, so the inside is out of the question. I was like, right, I was just going to go around the outside. And I try... just can't get the job done. That was as close as I get to Tom. The tyres dropped away a bit after this. I wouldn't have the same opportunity again. And so he pulled away at the end. Then I lacked pace on this last little bit. You see, he pulled away. Last lap. Nothing else doing. It's going to be P6. Lee hit the barrier on the exit. I thought he was taken out. So he did.
He killed him, didn't he? I bet he fucking killed him.
He did not kill him, as it turned out.
Fuck's sake.
I thought he may have, but he did not. So, there you go then. P6, it's a good result. 12 seconds off the race win. Chubbs did a fantastic job. He did it. Fair play to him. He held on in the end. And then the pace was always looking very, very good. And he did it. Fair play to him. So P6 I'm very happy with as well. That was as best as I could do. Yeah, it's in circumstances, and I helped Lee as much as I could. But that's it. That's the season. It was always going to take a bit of a miracle to kind of beat Ross. I think we did. I think it would have been so close had I actually been able to be there for Brazil and Fuji that week. I missed that 1 week. But to finish, 22 points behind, all things considered, finish P5. A couple podiums, won the race in Watkins Glen. Just, it's been a really great season. I've loved every moment of it for the most part. Fantastic battles with Aaron, Pagani, Tom as well, Chubbs on occasion as well, Panda. Just, I've had a really enjoyable time with this grid this season. It's been really, really enjoyable. I think the season's been great. So I'm just, yeah, absolutely loved it. And I love teaming up with Lee as well. You'll see the constructors come up here in a sec. 551 points. We missed 3 races between us. So to come up with that amount of points to finish P3, we got a 1-2 in Tsukuba as well, don't forget. It's been brilliant. So I've loved it. The next season's going to be very, very different. We'll have a different teammate, much different format. It will be explained after the first race of the season. There's a lot of changes going on. They're very exciting. It's going to be a very interesting season. But for this season of FTRL GT7, it's been fantastic. I've loved basically every moment of it, other than Austria probably this last weekend. But yeah, it's been great. And it's been a proper privilege with these guys. So very excited moving forward. But yep, that's going to do it for this week's edition of FTRL GT7 season finale at St. Croix. Thanks for watching, and until next time.